doing, everyone? My name is Ryan and this is Ade, and welcome back to another edition of Boxtalk. I'm going to do it this way. We've got Tony Thompson versus...
Wait, you trying to call him Gorilla? Trying to call me Gorilla? Sorry, what do you mean?
You always do it. Every time I say his name, you start doing that all the time, so I just thought, might as well.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
Yeah?
It's very intimidating, that shit.
It is very intimidating. Yeah. We got Tony Thompson versus Luis Ortiz. I think it's a good fight.
Yes.
I think as much as a lot of people are high on Ortiz, as me and Ade are, as much as we rank him no worse than maybe the third best heavyweight in the world, he still has a lot to prove. He has little time, given his age, 36.
Yeah.
He needs to get the ball rolling. I don't think there's much more to say in their intros than let's get this fight on now. Ade.
Yeah, no, you're right. He has very little time, but he's making use of that time very well. When was Brian Jennings' fight? Was it December? December. Come back out in March. It's pretty decent.
Early March as well.
Pretty decent. Do you know what I mean? So he's already looking for maybe a couple of fights before summer. Maybe one. It depends on how this one goes. It could go June and go against September. That's not what he's trying to do. Problem for him is that we're in a heavyweight division now where, unfortunately,
it's changed a lot.
It's changed a lot to the point where not a lot of the big guys are fighting the big guys. Okay, we've got Joshua Martin coming up in April. The winner of that isn't fighting Ortiz. Yeah. For example, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Vladimir Klitschko versus Tyson Fury.
I think that's May they're talking about now.
May. If Fury wins, he ain't fighting Ortiz. Deontay Wilder ain't fighting Ortiz. So Ortiz, yes, we want him to get a move on. Yeah. Get a move on to go where? None of the champions are going to fight him. Do you know, I hope we don't get a Golovkin situation here where we rate him highly and people say, oh, he's fought nobody. Because right now, he'll fight anyone and they don't want to fight him.
I agree with you, but I disagree as well. And I think that I don't like fractured belts or fractured divisions. I like having a unified champion.
Yes.
If you don't like the champion, or if you do like the champion, I want someone that's collected all the belts like Vladimir did, and you know who the man is. Yeah. It's undisputed. He's been everyone put in front of him, and everyone he fights can't beat him. You're the man.
You're the man.
I will never agree with fractured belts.
Yeah.
But in this scenario, fractured belts actually helps Ortiz. The reason why, if Joshua beats Martin, we got one belt with Matchroom. You got Dion Wilder with Al Heyman. You got Tyson Fury with Hennessy. You got the Shagayev Lucas Brown situation, which again, all other promoters. It's not all under one banner where you have no chance of opportunity. There's so much. The belts are so fractured right now that every champion is associated with a different brand. Yeah. Which means fights can potentially be made.
Who's he with?
Who?
Ortiz.
Golden Boy.
He's with Golden Boy. Okay.
Yeah. Cool. In terms of and you can go to Golden Boy. In terms of promotional entities, Golden Boy is one of the best. Yeah. Yeah. It's one of the. It has money. It has stature. What it doesn't have is loads of marquee fighters. So now they've got a heavyweight division which is fractured and a legit top 5 contender as we think right now. They will put the money behind to get their guy a shot against one of these other guys.
I agree. It's a very good point you make. And De La Hoya seems very convinced, unlike with Canelo Jiu-Jitsu, he's very convinced Ortiz will knock out every heavyweight. Yeah. And I'm not far from that thinking as well. But like you say, he has to prove it.
He has to prove it, yeah.
And although Tony Thompson got beat last time out against Monique Scott, Tony Thompson, for me, still is a good gatekeeper in that division.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah? And I think proving it against someone experienced, tricky, awkward, big...
Exactly, that's what I like.
We'll see. Let's see how he does it.
That's what I like. I like big more than anything else. It's always easy when you're the big dog in the house, the big person in the room, the biggest, the strongest. And that's what he's been fighting right now. Or he's been the smaller guy. Remember the guy he fought a few fights before, who was a big guy, but he weren't in shape. Yeah, he wasn't an athlete. Yeah. So it's easy to say what you want to say. Yeah. With Tony Thompson, you've got a guy who's about 6'5", 6'6", a guy who's solid 250, who's a solid seasoned pro, who's been in the game. Until recent years, no one was beating him except Vladimir Klitschko. Yeah. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, with all people, age catches up with you a little bit, and that's given people a chance to edge Tony Thompson. Besides, who actually beat him fairly? Was it Pulev?
It was Pulev.
Pulev beat him fairly. Everyone else has been kind of split decision, close decision, or something along those lines. Now, I mean, what I'm trying to say, Tony Thompson is a guy that Ortiz is not the only big guy in the ring now, and that's what we need to see with him.
Yeah, you're right. You look at Ortiz. Ortiz's biggest wins to this day, unfortunately, still are Latif Coyote.
Yeah, he's a
cruiserweight and a muscle-bound cruiserweight at that, and Brian Jennings, who's a very small heavyweight. So you're right. So the two biggest wins have come against guys that are small heavyweights. So let's see what he does against, like you say, Tony Thompson. Problem for me is what you said. Tony Thompson, the David Price Tony Thompson, the ties that fought Solis Tony Thompson, is different from the Tony Thompson now. And the problem is, when you get past 45, 46, it catches up with you very, very quickly. Tony Thompson's what, 46, 47?
No, I think it's 44, I think.
44?
43 or 44, yeah.
He's not looking the greatest at the moment. He's always had a bit of fleshy down there anyway.
He's never been body beautiful. Yeah.
I saw a recent picture of him, and it looks worse. He's taken a fight on very, very short notice, which for a heavyweight isn't that bad.
Yeah, because you don't have to really cut weight.
You don't have to cut weight.
Make you in shape.
Yeah, it doesn't make you in shape, and that's the thing for me. How will he condition himself? Ortiz look fantastic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And although Ortiz comes fixed, he's very fixed. There's not much fat on there. It's just kind of thick, dense muscle. Yeah. I see a problem.
Natural muscle.
Yeah, he's not Jim. That's just he's just that size. Yeah. I see a problem for Tony Thompson.
I see a real problem for Tony Thompson. Tony Thompson says something what he wants to prove, which he thinks is a flaw in Ortiz. It's Cuban boxers. Cuban boxers are revered from the amateurs to the pros. But when it comes to Cuban heavyweights or the discipline of Cuban fighters, there's always been that lacking part which doesn't really cross over. In terms of Cuban heavyweights, we had recently Mike Perez. What happened to Mike Perez? Didn't stay in shape. Started fighting less and less and less. And then last time we saw him got knocked out by Povetkin in one round.
Awful.
Yeah. But who before that we had Orlando Solis. Yeah. Looked great. Everyone's gonna beat everyone. And they had Solis beating Vitaly Klitschko. Yeah, you remember that? Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
And then he came in about 30 pounds overweight. Then we were coming in about 250, came in about 270.
Remember that awful chain? Yeah.
Then he came in. What time did he come? When he came in the fight last fight, was it 293?
I don't even know what it was.
Yeah. Who else after that was and who was before then? But you get my point. We go back to the 90s. Who was it? Was the Cuban guy Gonzalez that fought Riddick? Was it Riddick Bowe?
Yeah, it was Gonzalez. I think. Yeah.
Gonzalez who fought Riddick Bowe. Yeah. Again, these Cuban heavyweights that come over never really hit the potential. You would have think the amount of Olympic champions Cuba's had.
Oh man.
You would have thought there'd been a dominant Cuban heavyweight champion in boxing right now.
Yes.
There's never been one Cuban heavyweight champion yet.
They almost seem to lack discipline as soon as they turn over.
No, they do.
As soon as they turn over and go to America and sit, and I don't want to sound this rude, but see riches, they stop. Ortiz. I think Ortiz is on a mission right now, and I think that heavyweight division is he's for the taking. I really do. I don't think the heavyweight division is as deep, especially if Vladimir goes. If Vladimir gets beat by Tyson Fury again, then hunting season is on.
It's funny. It's like it's good thing you mentioned that. As much as Vladimir didn't look very good in his last fight, I still don't count many heavyweights to beat him.
No, nor do I.
Nor do I. Nor
do I. And that includes Ortiz, by the way. I don't count Ortiz to beat him either.
No, I think Ortiz has got the aggression to make Vladimir cautious.
Yeah.
But when you attack Vladimir, he actually fires back. It's funny. Fury done the best thing by not attacking Vladimir. It kind of kept him docile. Know what I mean? So it kind of worked. Boring fight. But in terms of tactics, it was the right tactic to beat a guy.
Tactics.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to walk into Vladimir, do you?
All right, quickly then. Tony Thompson, Luis Ortiz. How does it play out?
I like Tony Thompson a lot. Yeah. I've always liked Tony Thompson. As much as I like Tony Thompson, I like this fight in terms of what it brings to the table. I could only see one winner, and I think it'll be. Not only will it be impressive, it might be slow at the beginning. Thompson will slow the pace. Not only will it be impressive, I'm going to go for a stoppage. The only person that stopped Tony Thompson in recent time was Vladimir. Purely didn't stop him at points. He did go points in.
I think so, yeah.
Went points. I'm sure he went points. Yeah. King Kong is going to go in there, see what Thompson got and say, guess what? You could box, you got some skills, but guess what? I've got a lot more skills, I've got a lot more firepower, and I will set you up. Yeah. Tony Thompson doesn't really. He boxes smart and sets his shots up, but he doesn't fight at an aggressive pace. And I feel with someone like Ortiz, you need to put the gas on him a little bit. He's not going to do that. That's going to be a problem. Ortiz by stoppage before 10.
Oh yeah, definitely. 100%.
No, I think Thompson's capable. You don't knock out Tony Thompson just for fun.
I think Ortiz does. I think Ortiz does. I think the Ortiz I've seen so far has been pretty aggressive. Coyote was very aggressive, and even Brian Jennings, once he turned on him, it got
if he sees the opening,
once he turned on him, he got very aggressive, and I just feel like that could be Tony Thompson's worst thing here. The gas might empty very, very quickly when you've only had 6 or 7 weeks to be called up for a fight of this magnitude. It might empty very, very quickly. And that's the problem. If he was a 35-year-old that got this week's 6 weeks notice, I'd say, okay, yeah, a 44, 45-year-old getting 6 weeks notice to fight King Kong isn't just enough for me. It's just not enough.
I would like to see Ortiz change gears. He's changed gears because he's wanted to change gears. He hasn't been forced to change gears. And that's what I'm scared of. It's like if someone actually makes him fight, if this guy lets his hands go, because he's got, for a big guy,
fast hands.
Got fast hands and he's got power, but he's relaxed. He's relaxed. He does some
amateur style of boxing.
He does some things with his footwork in that ring against these guys. And you're like, wait a minute.
You're not supposed to be doing it as
a 6'4" guy should not be doing that.
250-pound dude should be doing.
Should not be doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what that's the amazement. Whereas once he does get the guys like a Vladimir, like a Fury, even like a Joshua, a Povetkin, a Pulev. I'm not gonna say Dion, because I think he would absolutely destroy Dion Wilder. Yeah, but I want to see, can you use those attributes against guys like that?
So you put Joshua in there, you don't put Dion Wilder in there. I'm very confused by that. I'm very confused. You actually blend generally Andy Joshua beats Deontay Wilder? Really?
I'm not joking. And not because I dislike Wilder. I base it all on what I see in the ring. Besides having a tremendous power punch, which he can never land for that 5, 6, 7, 8 rounds, he does nothing. If he catches you that shot, then he'll put you out. But did you watch the Spiska fight?
Yeah.
Every time you want to watch, and then they always say it only goes your last fight. Watch every round of the Spiska fight besides the knockout. And you see what I'm talking about. He does not put it together well.
He's gonna so shock you soon. It's making me laugh.
Oh, what? No. If he shocks me, I'd be happy. Then I can say I was wrong.
Yeah.
Just like when Amit Khan was in the basement, I took him out and I said I was wrong. I gave him praise. I have no problem eating humble pie when I'm wrong. But until he proves me wrong, I ain't eating nothing.
Alright guys, there you go. This is not a Deontay Wilder video, by the way. This is a Tony Thompson versus Ortiz video. And what do you think, guys? So Luis Ortiz, King Kong, the guy that we think could and probably what if given the chances,
potential to unify.
Yeah, potentially unify. If given the chances, ain't gonna happen. You ain't gonna get the chance, unfortunately. Some belts are gonna go in hiding. Trust me, they are gonna go in hiding, no matter what money Golden Boy has. Because unfortunately, apart from Hennessy, all the other guys with the belts kind of got money. Kind of got money. They were big guys.
Disagree.
Deontay Wilder signed a $10 million contract.
If Shagayev beats Brown, I guarantee Shagayev will cash out.
Oh yeah, that's a regular belt. That's not a legit.
Yeah, but that puts you in a position though for.
Remember, that's the belt he had. They got stripped from anyway. That's the belt he had.
No, he's got like an interim.
No, he had that belt. That's the belt he had. Don't you remember that belt that he got? And he got stripped because of the steroid, whatever.
Yeah. I thought that was like an interim or.
That was a regular.
A regular.
Yeah, regular. Yeah. What's this one with Shagayev?
No, loses Emmy Heavyweight World Champion yet.
Yes, he has.
No.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has.
No.
Yes, he has. He's had a regular belt. He's definitely had a regular belt.
No, it's an interim. It's like that. It's not an interim or something. What? Silver.
He had a silver.
I don't know. It's something like it's not.
He had a belt.
He's not had a regular belt yet.
He had a belt. Yeah. Not a Parker belt. He had a real belt.
George Parker's got a belt. So
he had a real belt. Guys, leave your predictions below. What does Ortiz do? And if he does win, think of all the other heavyweights right now. Who causes him problems? I can think of one in my head that would be a very, very good fight. The rest, I think he destroys. He destroys all of them.
Who do you think it is?
Because I'm a good fight. Yeah. Povetkin. I like that matchup. I think Povetkin comes out in the attack.
As well.
Yeah, it just comes out in the attack. Similar size.
Yeah, similar.
I reckon that'd be a decent little fight. I think if he catches Tyson Fury, it's lights out.
Povetkin had looked much more solid.
Yeah, steroids.
No, not much more. Technically as well. Yeah. Looking sharper. Crisp with his punches, better defense.
Everything's looking good.
Yeah, everything's looking good.
And he's fought a few guys around the top 15. It's like, okay, you matched up well against them.
You're destroying the guys you're supposed to destroy. You destroy.
Yeah,
and that's what I like.
All right, guys, there you go. Luis Ortiz, Tony Thompson. Leave your comments below. Remember to share it on all your social media profiles. Subscribe. Numbers are going up. Thanks a lot for all the subscribers, and thanks for watching another edition of Boxtalk. Cheers.